What is the deal, YouTube? What's the deal, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. You see the title of the video. So without anything else, let's dive right into the topic of conversation. And the Dallas Cowboys have had a bad fucking draft. Their draft has been absolutely terrible for 2016. And allow me to explain. First of all, the Dallas Cowboys selected Ezekiel Elliott in the first round of the draft. Now, in the first round of the draft, they had an opportunity to select Jalen Ramsey. They had an opportunity to select a cornerback that pretty much, not Ramsey. Yeah, they had an opportunity to select Jalen Ramsey. Instead, they went with a running back. To me, running backs should never be drafted in the first round unless it is a special. I'm talking about special Barry Sanders, Marshall Faulk type back, Adrian Peterson type 8 in the box that is going to make teams, have to stick 8 in the box to stop you as a running back. That's the only way I see drafting a running back in the first round. They had an opportunity to select a cornerback that would pretty much split the field in half. You see certain teams, especially the most successful teams, have those type of guys, whether it's Richard Sherman or Revis or Patrick Peterson, those guys who you pretty much don't have to worry about. You can stick them out there one-on-one, and you can focus your attention on other places on the field. Not only that, Jaylon Smith is a versatile guy who you can actually have him play your number one wide receiver one day and then take him and put him on the tight end the next day. He can go, he's big enough to cover the number one receiver one day and then go cover Rob Gronkowski the next day. That's how versatile this kid was. And when I was watching film on him, I was like, oh my God, I wish it was a possibility for my Dolphins to get up there and get this kid and stick him in there. The Cowboys passed on him. Then the Cowboys in the second round of the draft. Oh my God. In the second round of the draft, they have all these other needs. They draft Jaylon Smith, a linebacker from Notre Dame. Now, before this kid got injured, a lot of people were saying that it was a possibility that he could be the first pick in the draft. But they draft him in the second round of the draft, injured. A guy that won't even listen. Look at this shit. Look. Why Cowboys took big risk in the in round 2 on Jaylon Smith, who is unlikely to play in 2016. Cowboys surprised the world. Jaylon Smith said there's absolutely a chance he will play. They say there is a chance. So you drafted a kid in the second round that there is a chance that he'll play. A chance. Now keep in mind now, the Dallas Cowboys have Tony Romo as a quarterback. Tony Romo, this just in. Tony Romo will miss half of the season. Sources say he coughed twice, and now he will miss half of the season with a lung injury. And they draft a fucking terrible. That makes no sense at all. No fucking sense at all. Now, I've been working on this shit. And I've always said there is a desperate need. There is a need, to me, for the NFL to create a development league. I think a development league would alleviate a lot of problems that I see as a fan. There's no way in hell I'm watching slave ball. It's not gonna happen. I can't fucking do it. I can't sit there and watch kids go out by force because there's no choices. You either play slave ball or you find some alternative backdoor route to the NFL. This is the NFL and this is slave ball. There's a block there. You either play slave ball or there's no other route, which makes no sense. In college baseball, which is the only collegiate sport that I watch, you have the choice. If you're good enough, you can leave high school and go straight into the minor leagues. Get paid, work on your game, and potentially get called up to the majors. That's a choice. In slave ball, there is no choice. You're either playing slave ball or you find some backdoor ass route to the NFL. There's no other route. There's no other route. In the meantime, you go play slave ball and everybody gets paid but you. You're the only person in the equation that doesn't get paid. The coaches get paid. There's no such thing as a coach that might get paid. Urban Meyer doesn't go coach a game in Florida with 50,000 fans cheering and might get paid. He has a guaranteed paycheck unless the team decides to fire him. And in that case, he'll go to another team and pick up another guaranteed paycheck. There is no possibility that Urban Meyer, Nick Saban, or any other coach in slave ball might not get paid, period. So when people tell me, well, he gets a college degree, show me one college degree that guarantees you a paycheck. Show it to me. Show me one college degree that says you have an absolute guarantee at a paycheck. In fact, 52% of college graduates right now are working jobs that don't require a college degree. It's 8:28. 52% of college graduates right now are working jobs that don't require a college degree. I forget what the numbers were for the underemployed, because there's a lot of college graduates out there that are underemployed. I know college graduates right now that have a bachelor's degree that cannot find a job in their field. So when people use that, well, he gets an education, that's fine. That's a maybe. There is no maybe with college coaches. There is no maybe with administrators. Stadiums, nobody walks in and say, well, maybe I want to pay for this ticket. I might want to pay for this ticket. No, you want to come play, you want to come watch the game in this stadium, you pay that $100 so you can sit in that seat. There is no maybe that the stadiums might be filled. Well, actually, sometimes there is, depending on the college. I've never seen a Notre Dame game not be packed out with 40, 50,000 people sitting in the seats, ever. I don't give a fuck if it's a Division II school. That fucking stadium is going to be packed for people to come watch Notre Dame. So the only people with a maybe in the equation is the kids that put their bodies on the line. They might use that degree. They might. You might. There is no might with everybody else. And if that kid so much as fucking tries to sell the jersey off his back, he's off the team. And the motherfuckers was using their likeness in football games and selling millions of copies around the world. So you use my likeness, you use my face in advertisements, you show highlights to advertise the games, the coaches get paid, the administrators get paid, the stadiums are packed full, and everybody gets a portion of that but me. You say, here's a piece of paper that you might use in the future. If I'm Todd Gurley, I'm a beast. I was a beast coming out of high school. Why the fuck do I need to be? If you went to Todd Gurley and say, hey, Todd Gurley, do you want to play for Georgia or do you want to make millions paying for the Rams? If I came to you and say, hey, You can either go play for Georgia and make nothing but a college scholarship, or you can go to the Rams and make millions. If you say you would go to Georgia, come here, let me slap the shit out of you. Straight up. Now, if the NFL had a development league that said, you know what? Okay, this is what we're going to do. You're young. We're going to bring you in. We're going to develop you. You're not going to make millions, but you're going to make something. You're going to make, let's say, you'll make $75,000 a year, right? You make $75,000 a year. And we're going to put these teams in markets where there isn't an NFL team, but there is a passion for football, like Nebraska. Let's say we put a minor league team in Nebraska, and now we're recruiting the local stars for Nebraska. So yeah, hey, Aaron from whatchamacallit high school, he's gonna go play for the semi-pro or the development league in the NFL. Now you got fans from that kid coming to watch him play in the semi-pro league, and you can start to sell tickets, whatever the case may be, and the NFL will start making money from that. And then what you do is you take the semi-pro league and you have those games during the time when there isn't NFL games. Maybe you start their season after the playoffs start. You got a guy on your roster, your third string quarterback. You want to get him some reps versus some good competition. You send him to the semi-pro or the development league. Third string quarterback can go out there and get reps against guys that are probably going to be, high draft picks, whatever the case may be later, right? You can develop those kids, and you set a cap for specific positions, especially like running back. You don't want to let running backs get too many reps, so you set a cap as far as how many reps those guys can have in the semi-pro league, so you don't overuse them like they will in slave ball, because they don't give a fuck. They'll give a running back in slave ball 300 carries. They don't give a fuck about his future. Who cares? But you set a cap for it in the development league, so those guys don't come, to the next level, all used up, and you can lower the risk of injuries as well. Not only that, you don't teach bullshit that's never gonna get used in the NFL, a la Tim Tebow when he was in Florida. If you go back and you watch highlights of Tim Tebow, he never played quarterback. The motherfucker played H-back the entire time he was in Florida. Urban Meyer didn't teach him how to throw. He came to the NFL looking like a fucking pitcher. He had that big wind-up fucking delivery where he took the ball and put it way back here, and it took the motherfucker fucking 3 minutes to throw a pass. He looked like a cartoon character. That's why when people, Tim Tebow's a first-round draft. How? Look at how he throws. I can see that delivery from a mile away. And the motherfucker didn't have no accuracy. This man couldn't hit the ocean standing by the shore. He couldn't. Seriously. The ocean is here. This motherfucker would throw it back on the shore. His accuracy was terrible. But see, the thing is that they didn't care in slave ball. He was a big, strong kid. You put him out there as a quarterback because that's where, he touches the ball the most. You can design certain shit, and he ran the football. Never under center, always in shotgun. You just don't see that in the NFL. So they set these kids up for failure. And that's the reason why I call college sports slave ball. The only people that I really think benefit from slave ball is the coaches, the administrators, and everybody else that gets paid. The only other people that might take a risk from slave ball is the advertisers. The advertisers take some risk as well. And the reason why I say that is because I can show you 500 Dorito commercials. If you don't want Doritos, you're not going to buy Doritos. So that's still a risk. If you don't want Doritos, I can Bud Light. Go buy Bud Light, motherfucker. If you don't want no Bud Light, you're not buying Bud Light. So there's a risk with the advertisers. Advertisers do take some risk, but nobody else takes a risk. Nobody. The only people that take a risk is slight risks is the advertisers and the players on the field. But yeah, fucking horrible draft by the Cowboys, man. This is the worst draft I've ever seen in a long time. I don't even know who they picked in the third round. Now, the draft isn't over, but so far, this has been a terrible draft for the Cowboys. Let's see here. Who else did the Cowboys take? They had the 4th pick in the 3rd round. Trying to see who they picked in the 3rd round. The Cowboys. Look at this shit. Nobody thought the Cowboys. Look at this shit. Every article that I see has they can't believe it. It's a stunner. It's a shocker. Kevin Dodd that went to Tennessee. I seen people saying that he might be selected in the 1st round. He slipped all the way to Tennessee with the 33rd pick in the draft. That's a solid value pick for the Tennessee Titans. All right, so in the 3rd round, the Cowboys select Malik Collins, a DT from Nebraska. Give him some depth. I don't know much about that kid. I would have to go and do some research on him. But wow, the Cowboys are having a terrible draft. If I was a Dallas Cowboy fan, I would be absolutely pissed. We had a chance to get a franchise cornerback, a guy who was going to take away half the field. We take a running back. They could have got what is his name? They could have got Devontae Booker and been just fine. Because if you look at DeMarco Murray as a running back, DeMarco Murray wasn't a great running back. He was good enough to go along with the great offensive line that they have. Behind that offensive line, you don't need a great back. You can have a good back. Devontae Booker is a good back. You put him back there, who knows where he ends up as far as rushing yards. And then you can take Jaylon. Jaylon basically splits half of your field, definitely improves your defense, which they need, especially in the NFC, when most of the good teams in the NFC are built on defense. Arizona Cardinals, they're built on defense. Carolina Panthers, they're built on defense. Seattle Seahawks, they're built on defense. And you take a running back. Ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Now, if the Seattle Seahawks would have taken Ezekiel Elliott instead of Jalen Ramsey, I can understand. Beast mode's gone. You replace him with Ezekiel Elliott. It makes sense. If the Denver Broncos take Ezekiel Elliott, I can understand. You got a young quarterback. You give him a running back. Your defense is set. You're straight. It makes sense. If the Pittsburgh Steelers take Ezekiel Elliott, I say the same thing. Their defense is ass. Anyway, that is the end of this rant. I am going to also, you know what? I didn't check and see what people are saying. Let's see if anyone's saying anything. I'm sorry. I have to actually go look at the comments. Let's see what people are saying. Good morning. Jacksonville is building a beast of a team, and they're continuing to build up that defense. The Jacksonville Jaguars, to me right now, they look like a playoff team. They like a scary playoff team. They're going to get Deontay Fowler back. You throw Ramsey on that team. Now you can shut down half of the field. You got Blake Bortles with those 2 wide receivers out there. You got a solid run game. Jacksonville looks like a playoff team. Jacksonville is going to be scary. If not this year, next year. That team is coming on fast. I like how physical they are, man. I like that Jacksonville team. I do. Jacksonville, the Raiders are making a serious push. Khalil Mack, fucking Alden. I don't know if Alden Smith is going to come back. You add Sean Smith to that team. Woo. Yo. Jacksonville. But you, at the same time, this is only on paper. This is what we're seeing on paper. You know, these players still have to be coached up. You still need a solid game plan in place, but they're getting some good ass pieces. Anyway, man, trading up for Carew, I don't like it. I don't like it. I've heard people saying things like it's a possibility that we might lose Kenny Stills. But I look at it like this. We have Jarvis Landry, Kenny Stills, Devontae Parker, Griff Whalen, and we have a couple other people. But I don't see where he plays. I mean, if I'm trading up for somebody, it's, to me, it needs to be a need. I don't see where the need is. I mean, I felt like there's other guys out there that we could have gotten later that would have been good. I mean, the kid from Ohio State is still sitting there. Scooby Wright is he still there? I don't know. But yeah, man, there was other pieces. I don't get that shit. That doesn't make any sense. And I mean, and we still have needs at linebacker. Our linebacker needs are still there. We drafted a cornerback yesterday. We improved our offensive line in the first, but we still have needs at linebacker. Why not address the needs at linebacker? Get some young, fresh linebacker. I don't get that shit. If we're going to trade up for anybody, why not a linebacker? Defensive end, that's another need. We've got Mario Williams, who's old. Cam Wake, who's 35, coming off of a surgery. We can use another defensive end, not another wide receiver. I don't I mean, if we want depth anywhere, why not defensive end? If you look at the Super Bowl, look at DeMarcus Ware, Von Miller. The Super Bowl was basically won with the defensive ends, and we got old guys. But we'll see the way it works out. We'll see the way it works out. I mean, anyway, what do we have? The 4th round in the draft today? 5th round in the draft, something like that? Yeah, we gave up way too much to move up. I'm about to get the fuck out of here, relax a little while, get ready to watch the draft. Last night, my Heat forced a game 7. If you didn't get to see that video, you can check that video out on my channel that I talk about Heat basketball, sports talk with casual. And I'll talk to you guys next time. What a horrible draft by the Dallas Cowboys. Later. Peace.